Hey, hi, hello, welcome to another video. In this video I'll be showing you how to sort like pro in Qlik. For this video I am loading the same e-commerce dataset. I hope this dataset is clear to you guys. Okay. Now whenever you add any dimensions, right, like alphabetical dimensions, so it mostly like sorts ascending wise, right? And now let's take for an example, if your end users ask you for like for an example few values within that to be on the top and rest below it, right? For an example, let's take for an example, if the end users asks you this values EIRE and European community, this should always be on top and rest be below it. And yeah, so let's see how to do it really quickly. Okay, so for that what you would need to do is you would need to create an inline table. Okay, and within this inline table, right, you can have anyway, like you could create an Excel as well, but inline would be the better approach. So within that inline table, right, you need to have the same column name, that is country, right? And then I'm loading these two values and whatever order you need it based upon. So for an example, for here I'm taking EIRE as on the top one and below it the European community. Okay, so what happens is within Qlik, right, whenever Qlik loads a dataset into a application, right? For an example, right now as it is loading the ecom dataset, and within the ecom dataset when it is loading country, right, by default it what happens is Qlik stores this values, right? And when it stores this values, it has its own numeric values behind it which Qlik stores for its understanding. Okay, let's take it that way. So whatever you load the data in format of, right, for an example, if this value within the country loads first EIRE, so it's make sure this is on the top. Okay, within the backend. So for an example, this value get associated to number 1, let's take that way, and then a European community would be have a number 2 within the backend. Okay, and then whatever value loads in first from the country line, let's take India loads in third, so it will have number 3 for India. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now after once this is done, right, what you would need to do is you need to drop this, because we don't need to have this within our analysis, right? So I'll drop table temp. Okay, now load this. Now here you can see that there is nothing change happen. What you need to do is you need to come here, click on this, and you need to go into sorting, right, and then uncheck the sorting button, and then here you need to deselect everything. Now what happened is, now currently sorting on load order, so based upon the data what was loaded, right, whatever the record was loaded first, it will do the sorting here. So now as you can see, you can get the results, right? The EIR is on top and European community is on top. So I have seen users tend to use, the developers tends to use if conditions which are resource intensive, like it takes Qlik's resources to do the calculation and show you the results, right? So this is very simplest way to do it, and this is also one of the important Qlik data architect certification questions. So yeah, okay, this is one way. Now let's look into the second scenario. Okay, now for the second scenario, what we'll do is here as you can see, I'm loading a month column. Okay, I'm creating a month column using the preceding load. Let me load this quickly. Let me quickly add a chart for the month column. Now as you can see, this is sorted based upon the amount, and I want it to be sorted based upon the month. So what I'll do is I'll go into sorting and I'll slide this month on the top. Now here as you can see, this is sorted correctly. Okay, now within your data set you can have data for multiple years, right? So let's take for an example, we also want to bring in the year part into this month, right? So to understand which specific year this transaction was done. Now here, as you can see, I have also added the year as well as the month within this column. Now when you see the sorting, right, now the sorting is broken. I hope you can see it, right? After 2010 December, you can see 2011 April, and then basically what's happening is it is sorting it based upon the alphabets, right? This is auto sorting, and now it is sorted based upon, firstly it is numeric, and then it is doing it based upon the alphabets. For an example, after 2000, within 2011, it is checking for A, D, F. I hope that is clear. Now to sort this correctly, right, what we would need to do is we would need to use dual function. Okay, and what does dual does is, like, a dual can have within, for a single value, right, it can hold two different data types. For an example, one is string and one is numeric. So what we'll do is, using the dual function, we'll have this string part, okay, this year and month, and then what we'll do is I'll add a comma, and then I'll give it a numeric part as well, so that it can sort it correctly. So for that, I'll copy this expression. Now I'll multiply the year by 100 and add it with the month. So this way we'll get the numeric as well, so that it can sort it correctly based upon the numeric value. I hope that is clear. Now when I click on load, right, so now here you can see the sorting is correct. Okay, so what happened is, let me add the columns in a table and show you that. I'll wrap this within a numeric function. And here now you can see that every single string representation of month has a numeric value behind it, and now the sorting is happening based upon the numeric values, right, which is behind every single string value. I hope that is clear. That's why the sorting is correct. Now some people would say that instead of using year month, right, I could have also used date function and the sorting would have been correct. And you are correct in a way, right? Using the date function, the sorting could have been corrected, but the issue is it is not a optimized way to do it, and there is a reason behind it. When I do year month, right, it creates a distinct value for every single year month, but when I do date, right, for every single date value, the formatting would be YYY-MM, but within the backend, Qlik sense would store every single date as a date. So due to which, what will happen is it will take more space, and that's why it is not an optimized way to do it, and it would create unnecessary issues as well in the user experience, about which I'll talk in depth in my upcoming videos. For that, you make sure you subscribe, and also if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit on the like button. Until next time, have a good time.